Okay, well, you unfortunately missed it because I forgot to hit play again. But I did get it out eventually. The method I used was with this thing being tightened. I grabbed a 15/16 wrench and tightened the screw down on the top. And that forced the whole thing up, pulling out the recalcitrant little bearing. And, well, I'll put you on hold again now because I'm going to go find some brake parts cleaner. Alrighty. Brake parts cleaner. See? Nicely clean out all the brake parts. Alright. That's not too bad. Now, before I start assembling bearings, I'm going to put some transmission assembly lube in them. Alrighty. Apologize for how poorly filmed this is, but like the rest of my channel, it's poorly filmed but chock full of information. And lo and behold, we got the Germans making a reappearance because they made the replacement bearing for this. Well, I guess you give them another stab at it. Actually, that's my tool. Oh, there we go. We're going to use a bearing and seal driver. You could use a press for this, but I just don't feel like going out and setting up the press when this will probably work just as well. There we go. And that kind of solid hit tells us that we're right where we should be. Now to replace the retaining plate. A good clean off. There we go. And here's where our E12 socket comes in, and it comes in handy. If you're wondering why this is in several videos, well, I'm doing about 2 or 3 week build on this transmission because I forgot to buy parts and things like that, and I have to order them from overseas. And so the parts will come pretty quickly. For in Great Britain, they're coming in about 2 to 3 days, so that's not bad. There we are, and there's our bearing in place. Now the next thing we're going to put in is our bearing race for the differential. And for that, we're going to use this bearing pusher. It isn't the right size, but it's as close as I can get in my collection of bearing race installation tools. Notice I'm moving around, and this tool is good because it's aluminum, and this hard steel is going to damage the aluminum. The aluminum's not going to damage the steel. And that ringing sound tells us we're pretty much on the money. Little feel around, little look-see. Sure that's seated as far as it can seat. I think it should go down a little further than it is. I'm going to use this edge and try to persuade it that it wants to go deeper. It doesn't. Nope, I guess that's deep enough. If it doesn't go together, I'll kind of know why. Our next bearing, and our last bearing for this part of the case, is going to be right here. Our input shaft bearing. I wish I had a larger seal driver, but guess I'll have to buy one someday when I get where independently wealthy, or have 20 bucks and enough time to make a run to Harbor Freight. And once again, we are going to use this Dr. Tranny's assembly goo. It just has a weird sound to it. I picked it up at Napa. I have a couple transmissions with it. Suzuki MV3, Nissan truck / 240 transmission. Very similar trans. Slight difference in the details, but they are very similar. Can't really show you this because I don't have a way to set up the camera, but here's basically how we're going to set it up. Smack it home with a hammer. Let's see, that's sitting a little high. I need to find a next size smaller bearing driver. And for that, you gotta hold on. Alrighty. Miss me? I'm back. That's a little bit big. That's a little just right. I'm gonna use our small one. Got it once again on the driver handle. I can probably get this thing out of the way in a second. Alrighty, see what I'm doing here. Inside the lip of the grease seal, putting a little of that assembly lube. It's just, this stuff actually is designed to dissolve into the oil when it gets up to about 100 degrees. So it's really kind of benign and harmless. And my favorite tool in the whole world is not an angle grinder, my big effing hammer. Surprisingly, the Honda transmission for a Civic that I did earlier with somebody wasn't really any easier than this one. Usually European cars are a bigger ball buster to work on. Yep. Well, right now it's my seal driver set that I got about 20 years ago at Napa, being a little bit of a pain, but oh well. They're gonna use a Chinese socket to pound it. There we go. That's out of there. Gotta make sure it doesn't happen again. Wipe that seal driver handle off. These are probably ones that weren't used that much because they're sticking in a little bit more than they normally do. And there we are, a little bit below the surface. And our input shaft seal is in place. So now that pretty much concludes the build out of the front case of the transmission for a 2005 to 2008 Mini Cooper with the single overhead cam 1.6 liter engine without a supercharger. Also known as the Getrag, I think GS5. And yeah, it's not really that bad. This is the improved transmission, not the wretched Midlands box from England that had the press fit ring gear on the differential, because that's just such a lovely bit of engineering there. This was proper German made, so that's why it had bad bearings and bad bushing that was probably taken out by the bad bearings. Anyways, if you like this content, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Oh, wait, we do have one more. We have forgotten our output shaft seal. You can't forget that. Puke oil all over the place if you do. So, here we go. This is a genuine mini seal, which means something to somebody. Inch and 7/16 socket, and it is still too small to drive that. Drive is starting to like the Germans. Nine. Okay then, battle is on. And lost. I will have to get a socket roughly the size of this. Normally you don't have to do this with the grease seal, but this little shield here, see how it rises above the level of the lip? It's also possible to drive the lip. On a positive note, we do have this brownish red reddish brown rubber. That usually is indicative of a Viton oil seal, and that is a very good quality oil seal. So, until next time, and I won't be showing this part. If you don't know how to do this, you shouldn't be trying to do a transmission. This is me with Third World Garage. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'll be coming at you next time with the other side, with all the gears, that side of the transmission, and the final assembly. Ta-da!